Very good morning to all. So we are going to cover complete current affairs from 2024 to 2025, especially from January 2024 to April 2025. Right. So let us start. First article we will discuss is a fast reactor fuel reprocessing plant, right? So this is uh, Prime Minister dedicated the demonstration fast reactor fuel reprocessing plant, right? And at the India and at the Indira Gandhi Center for Atomic Research in Kalpakkam, Tamil Nadu. Okay, so the DFRP, that is a fast reactor fuel reprocessing plant. Okay, and it is designed entirely by Indian scientists, is unique on global level. Okay, and it is capable of reprocessing both garbage, okay, and oxide fuels from fast reactor, right? So it is marked as a significant advancement. The plant demonstrates, okay, that is a step towards you can say large commercial scale fast reactor fuel reprocessing, right? So if we talk economic and developmental implication, then investment in such a nuclear technology is a poise to create employment, energy, enhance energy security, and contribute to economic growth, right? So the integration of the technologies reflect India's commitment to diversifying its energy resources and strengthening its position in nuclear technology, right? So if we talk about cultural and societal impact, then the advancement in nuclear technology are seen as a part of broader developmental initiatives and the contribution to overall societal prosperity. Okay, and the initiatives are the part of larger visions for a developed India, and it touching about upon economic, cultural, and infrastructural growth, right? So firstly you have to understand, you have to broader understanding of fast breeder reactor, that is FBR. What? FBR, is it clear? So FBR, that is fast breeder reactor, is a type of nuclear reactor, okay, that generates from fissile materials than it consumes. So utilize fertile materials like uranium 238, uranium 238, right? 238, okay, and thorium 232, converting them into fissile fuels from neutron absorptions and transmutation, right? So initially attractive for its efficient use of uranium, the interest fluctuated with changing uranium supply and in enrichment technology, right? So this is important article, and you have to cover it. Okay, so next is next next article is direct to mobile technology. Direct to mobile technology, right? So mobile technology, okay, the telecommunication engineering center, that is TEC, has flagged challenge that could crop up in the implementation of the direct to mobile technology. okay, and which would pave the way for streaming television's content directly to mobile phones without an internet connection. Okay, so this is the theme of direct to mobile technology, and in short we will write D2M, right? D2M, is it clear? D2M, and it is a broadcasting technology. What? It is broadcasting technology designed to transmit multimedia content directly to consumer, smartphones without the need for an active internet connection. Okay, and Traditionally, traditionally it has been employed for issuing emergency alerts and assisting in disaster management, right? So its versatility extend beyond the conventional applications. So D2M allows a government to broadcast citizen-centric information and telecom operators, right, which can collaborate with the content providers to deliver multimedia content, right, and it will include live news also without putting excessive strain on network bandwidth, right? So this is important, right? So the approach benefits consumers by reducing their reliance on internet data consumption for staying informed and entertained, right? So what is the function of D2M, right? So D2M technology work D2M technology, you can say in a manner similar to listening like FM, FM radio on a smartphone, okay, where a receiver taps into radio frequency, okay, and another comparison is direct to home, that is DTH broadcasting, in which a dish antenna receive broadcast signals directly from satellites and transmit them to a receiver known as the set-up box. What? Set-up box, right? So why it is not ready for a rollout? So currently mobile device lacks support for D2M technology as it requires the ATSC 3.0 standards, right? Because 3.0 standard it do not maintain. So ATSC 3.0 represent the latest version. So what? Latest version of the advanced television system committee standard, right? So it is designed to define how television signals from different networks, including terrestrial satellites and cable networks, are broadcasted and interpreted by devices, right? So to make device compatible, a separate baseband processing unit, that is antenna, low noise amplifier, baseband filters and receiver, right? All these are needed, right? So increasing a smartphone cost and potentially disrupting LTE or 5G network design, so it is important, right? So the current network infrastructure is not equipped to transmit signals for D2M. Why? This is not available, or this is not right now applicable for this. So you have to understand this thing, and you also know it requires dense networks of terrestrial towers to receive signals from satellites and transmit them to the device, necessitating a smaller device antenna, right? So this is important, and D2M, this is an alternative to D2M 5G broadcast technology, right? And currently undergoing testing. So government, or you can say the department, you can say are undergoing testing, right? So it utilize high towers with powerful transmitter to disrupt media content via continuous linear data streams. Okay, so this approach eliminates the need for new processing unit, and you potentially reducing device cost, right? So 5G broadcast is a compatible with both 5G and 4G, okay, operating with the existing network setup, and eliminates the need for a separate processing unit, and it utilizes a high tower with a powerful transmitter for efficient content, right, and disruptions. So this is about D2M technology, and according to me, you have to prepare well, okay, this article. So next article is Sikki grass. Okay, I hope this is Sikki grass, this Sikki grass, right? So Sikki grass artisans are struggles with climate change, lack of government supports, and competition from cheaper alternatives, right? So uh, the Sikki grass originates from Bihar, Uttar Pradesh in India, and the Tarai regions of Nepal. It is also known as golden grass, right? Due to its fine golden fiber. Okay, so uh, the traditionally crafted by the Tharu women in Nepal and artisans in the Mithilanchal regions of Bihar, right? And this item include toys, dolls, basket, in another words you can write it dolce basket, or you can say dolce potty, that is boxes, okay. And all these are used for holding sindoors, ornaments, jewelry, especially in matrimonial contacts, right? So what is the significance of this Sikki grass? So it is mentioned in ancient Sanskrit texts like Ramayana under various names, okay. So integral to the local folklore and culture, especially noted for its auspicious and utility in rural households, right? Rural households. So there is a crafting procedures, okay. And the procedures involves drying Sikki grass and removing the flower's head, and the golden fiber is then used for weaving various items. Artisans often paint the finished products for the aesthetic enhancement. Craftsmanship is labor and item intensive, or you can say time intensive, taking I think 8 to 10 hours for a medium sized basket, right? So this is important. Now if we talk about economic and environmental aspects, definitely it provides livelihood to many artisans in rural areas. Sikki grass cultivation aids in arresting soil erosions in hilly terrains, right? And the entire process is environmentally friendly. Products are durable and resistance to fungi. So it is clear, right? It is clear to you? Is it clear? So there are many challenges faced by artisans, and that is lack of adequate government supports, and recognition. Despite Sikhi receiving the geographical indication tag, impact of climate change leading to the deteriorating quality of Sikhi grass, making it brittle and unsuitable for crafting. Competition from cheaper, that is non-biodegradable plastic goods, and health. If we talk about health concern, then there is a health issue among artisans due to physical demanding nature of the craft. If we talk economic hardship or economic perspective, then it is exacerbated during the COVID-19 pandemic, right? So this is important, and you have to prepare this in depth. Are you getting my point? So next thing is fog pass device. Fog pass device. Fog pass device, right? So what do you mean by fog pass device? So the Ministry of Railway has introduced a new device like fog pass. Okay, why? Because it is used to improve train operations during severe winter conditions, right? So fog pass device is used for train operations during severe winter conditions. And firstly, fog pass is, you have to understand about fog pass. So fog pass is a low cost GPS device, right? Fog pass is a low cost GPS device designed to provide real time information to locomotive pilots. The device not only displays essential information but also includes a voice based prompt to alert loco pilots about upcoming situation without causing significant distractions, right? It is designed to help loco pilots navigate easily in foggy conditions by providing them with the necessary information to ensure safe and smooth running of the trains, right? So it provides real time information such as various types of signals, level crossing, gates, speed restrictions, and neutral sections up to 500 meters ahead of the train, right? So the features of this is compact antenna that detects the locomotive location, right, and continuously calculating the distance to preloaded landmarks. It has 15 days memory capacity for essential diagnostic events and houses a rechargeable battery that provides 18 hours of operation, right? So this is important, and I would like to cover. So solve one question recently seen in news, that is dust leak is a joint military exercise between India and which country? DUST dust leak, LIK, dust leak, right? Is a joint military exercise between India and which country? So option is Saudi Arabia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Mongolia. So answer is Uzbekistan, right? Next question is, the service area approach was implemented under the preview of that option is integrated rural development programs and lead bank schemes, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Schemes, and National Skill Development Mission. So answer is lead bank schemes, right? Next question, which of the following is issued by registered foreign portfolio investors to overseas investors who want to be part of the Indian stock market without registering themselves directly. Okay, so option is certificate of deposit, commercial paper, pro, promissory notes, and participatory note. So answer is participatory notes, right? So next I would like to cover article like so under upskilling rural youth of India, there is a group discussion held by life skill collaboration, you can say, that is most of the rural youth prefer to stay in their village, which necessitates the importance of upskilling them, right? And it is important for the rural youth also. And there is a UN project that almost 50% of the Indian population will be living in urban areas by 2047 to overcome agrarian crisis, right? And the farming is the main source of rural livelihood, including children who works on the family owned farms. But the rural economy is experiencing a major occupational shift with more farmers quitting agriculture to join non-farming jobs, hinting at an agrarian crisis. Now, the National Sample Survey Office, that is NSSO, right, data recorded 34 million farmers leaving their farms and ट्रांस क्या क्या कहते हैं transitioning to other sectors such as constructions during 2004 to 5 and 2011 to 12 to reduce unemployment rate. According to NSSO, the unemployment rate among rural male and female youth stood at 17.4% and 13.6% respectively, right? So so this is important to control migration. Okay, many rural youth migrate to urban areas in search of meaningful employment, which impact livelihood of urban dwellers. So the youth in rural India, okay, be made employment ready. Okay, so for rural education, you can say technical as well life skills are needed to empower youth in these areas. So through formal education, the process or you can say the success story of Mexico, tele schools, and Bhutan's well-being infused curriculum can be introduced, right? So this is extremely important, you can say skills, right? So under this so according to this 2023 survey, 15,856 young people across 11 districts, or you can say 66% of youth aged between 19 and 22 had never taken any kind of vocational training, with only 5% of them enrolled in these courses. So there is a vocational training. It will imbibe relevant rural skills in them to ensure a secure living where they currently live. Okay, so there is a you can say placement opportunity also. So industrial training institute need to provide avenue for placement to vocational skills aspirants, right? So alternate employment opportunity, rural India can boost employability in youth traditional and non-traditional trades, leading to a vibrant economy by by offering skills in fields like agriculture mechanization, pollution monitoring, nursing, or you can say digital technology via e-learning, right? So upskilling opportunity, Indian government have launched a skills on wheels initiatives with NSDC and in Indus, Indus in bank to promote skills to students doorsteps, right? So this is important for all the youth, especially for staying rural areas. So it will promote life skills also. If learning is infused with rural life skills in schools, rural education will have the potential to nurture a generation capable of thriving. So, for example, course in both industry, specific skills such as healthcare, electrical constructions, and life skills by Pratham, right? So, NGOs participation, Bharat Cares, a non-profit organization in India, is working towards empowering the underprivileged through skilling, So, this is important, right? So after ECI guidelines charting a path to disability inclusion in politics, there is ECI, right? Path disability inclusion in politics. So Election Commission of India, this is next. Election Commission of India issued guidelines advising political party on using disability sensitivity language and practice, right? So these guidelines cover inclusive communication, accessible information, and integrating people with disability, PWDs, okay, within party structure. The aim is to counter derogatory remarks, right? And there is a stereotypes against PWDs in politics. There is a concern about the effectiveness of these guidelines arises, right? So there is a demanding further refinement, and there is a their inclusion in the model code of conduct, right? So this is issue, or you can say concern. So something which is very important, so I would like to you highlight those things. That is the guidelines address disability inclusion communication, information accessibility, and inclusion within political party framework, right? So recent derogatory remarks by political leaders and underscore the necessity for these guidelines. So derogatory language contribute to attitudinal barriers under the Right of Persons with Disability Act 2016, right? So this is I think important, and the guidelines are advisory, lacking uniformity and leading more definitely mandate. So absence of these guidelines in the model code of conduct reduces their enforceability, right? So this is important, and there is a ambiguity in the language uses and terminology require clarification to avoid misinterpretation. So there is a political inclusion of PWDs is not addressed in the draft national policy for PWD. So there is a lack of data on the legislature with the disability, and the absence of disability column is in in election forms, and which hinder political inclusion, right? So this is important, and is it clear? So uh, there is the political you can okay. Okay, so you have to find or you have to search on Google something which is important, like disability sensitive language, inclusion communication, inclusive communication, attitudinal barriers, right of persons with disability act 2016, model code of conduct, okay, derogatory remarks, national policy for persons with disability, political inclusion. So these are the important things, okay. And you there is a advisory guidelines, attitudinal barriers, model code of conduct, political inclusion, derogatory remarks, right of persons with disability act 2016, national policy for persons with disability, right. So these guidelines are only an advisory through the phraseology of a few guidelines is mandatory language, sorry. So like in for instance have underlined the need for these guidelines, such as derogatory remarks by political leaders. Political inclusion is an ignored aspect within the Indian realm of disability. So uniform mandate under all three heads is needed for the effective implementation. Guidelines must be included within the model code of conduct to enhance their enforceability, right. And the lack of data has contributed significantly to the political exclusion of PWDS. So, for example, Raja's derogatory comparison of Sanatan Dharma to people with the leprosy and HIV in September 2023, right. So there is a lack of disability column in nomination forms and affidavit filed by contestant during elections. So there is a key facts, okay, and you have to prepare also. The guidelines cover disability inclusion, communication, information, accessibility, and inclusion within party frameworks. Sections 92 of the Rights of Persons with Disability Act 2016 is mentioned as punitive measures for breaching guidelines related to disability inclusion communication, right. So critical analysis, and the article there is a something which is important, and the article you can avoid this thing, okay, but ठीक है. So the strength or weakness, there is a strength and weakness and area for improvement, okay. So you have to emphasize those things, especially the need for more robust or enforceable frameworks within the model code of conduct and addresses ambiguity in the language, okay. So firstly you have to define and make the guidelines mandatory under all three categories, right. So incorporate guidelines into the model code of conduct for enhanced or enforceability. Provide a detailed list of the disability sensitive words and phraseology. So it includes like political inclusion in the national policy for persons with disability, and there is an introduction of disability columns in a election nomination forms to collect data on the legislator with the disability, right. So this is important. Now next article I would like to cover, that is the challenge in India's tea industry. So India's tea industry. This is tea industry, and that is a call for introspections and resilience, right? So this topic will be covered in economy, science and technology and environment sections of the syllabus, right? So echoes of the past. India's tea industry is facing challenging similar to the dark phase of 2002 to 7, as noted by the Tea Association of India TAI, that is there is a concerns, and that is a stagnant price, okay, oversupply and demand supply gap and trend, right? There is a trend uh, towards cheaper tea are major issues, and that is impacting the industry, right? So if we talk about the historical context and recent development, then the previous crisis was there, and the industrial suffered a significant slump during 2002 to 7 due to regulatory challenge, falling demands, competition from cheaper international teas and export quality concerns. So there is a current scenario. Despite India's economic strides, the tea industry struggles with the stagnant prices and increasing input costs, leading to the state closures and reliance on subsidies, right? So this is important, and there is a demand supply imbalance and quality concerns. So our supply issues, the meeting highlights the critical problems of oversupply, leading to an imbalance between availability and consumptions, and quality decline. To make tea more affordable, there has been a decline in quality, resulting in a race to the bottom. So proposed measures and tea boards of India's role. So there is a repositioning tea, that is TAI suggests repositioning to tea to enhance its perceptions and consumption patterns, right? So this is important, and there is a regulatory steps measures include regulating tea waste sold domestically, okay, restricting imports of low quality tea and promoting a tea health benefits. So potential impact: regulating waste could reduce supply by 15-20 million kg, and limiting imports could remove an additional 30 million kg of low quality tea. Tea industry statistics and trends. So there is a production and export. India's tea production increased by 39% from 2008 to 2002, with a slight projected increase in 2023. Okay, so export till October, that is 2023, decreased by 2% compared to 2022. So import increase: tea imports from 27 million kg in 2021 to 30 million kg in 2022. Okay, so overview of the Indian so this is there is potential impact of this tea industry, and especially in regards with regulating waste could reduce supply by 15 to 20 million kg, right? And there is a limiting imports could remove an additional 30 million kg of low quality tea. So there is some tea industry, okay, and statistics and trends. So there is a production and export. India's tea production increased by 39% from 2008 to 2022 with a slight projected increase in 2023, right? So export till October 2023 decreased by 2% compared to 2022, right? So this is how the tea industry statistics and trends. Okay, so next I will there is a overview of Indian tea industry, and if we talk about on global standing or on global level, so India is the second largest tea producer, right? Second largest tea producers, and the this is the fourth largest exporter of globally. So, with a significant domestic consumption, market employment and regulation, the industry directly employ 1.16 million workers, with the Tea Board of India regulating with the cultivation. So, main growing regions were the northeast, including Assam, North Bengal, and major growing areas with the significant cultivation in the Nilgiris in the South India, right? So, in spite of having such a quality, having such a features, there is some challenges and issues also. So, first thing is global competition and quality decline, right? So, competition from a country like Kenya and the demand for organic tea have affected India's market position, right? So, worker conditions and small tea growers, poor workers condition and challenge faced by small tea growers, right? So, there is also price increase, and recognition issues are also there, and there are significant concerns. Okay, so third thing is external factors. External factors like global events like the Russia-Ukraine war and have further compounded problems for the industry, obviously. So, next thing I would like to say, the Tea Board of India. What is the Tea Board of India's initiatives? So first thing is establishment. Tea Board was set up under the Tea Act 1953 and functions as a statutory body under the Ministry of Commerce. Headquarters are located in Kolkata, and the board is reconstituted every 3 years. Okay, and second thing, promotional efforts. The board undertakes various initiatives to promote package in Indian tea and stabilize participation in international fair. Okay, and promotional activity like the board supports package Indian tea promotions and subsidized participation in international fairs. So, there is a tea development and promotional schemes. So these schemes aims to enhance enhance productivity, quality, workers welfare, and market promotion. So support for small growers. Okay, and the board has formed SHG, FPOs and EFPC to assist a small tea grower, right? So one district, one district's one product, ODOP programs, right? One district one product program. This program can help promote Indian tea and improving aroma stands for assistance to small growers and re-energizing infrastructure, organic GI tech promotion, modernization of supply chains, and adaptability to climate change, right? So there is a supporting a small farmers, enhancing production and quality and sustainability while focusing on high valued markets is crucial for the industries growth, right? So next article I would like to highlight, that is you know microplastic contamination in Indian landfills. Microplastic, right? Microplastic contamination, right? Contamination in Indian landfills. In Indian landfills. In Indian landfills. So, according to recent study, it highlights the presence of microplastic in landfill, liquids and groundwater, posing environmental and health risk. Right. So, firstly, you have to understand what do you mean by microplastics. So, microplastics, are the tiny pieces of plastic debris that is less than 5 millimeters in size, often too small to be easily seen by the naked eye. Okay, they result from the breakdown of larger plastic items through weathering, photo degradation, thermal degradation, mechanical fragmentation, and biodegradation, right? So, what is the main category of microplastic? Main category of microplastic is, the first thing is primary, that is plastic particles, right? Manufactured to be small like microbits in personal care products, pellets used in the plastic manufacturing, and fibers after washing synthetic textiles. Second thing, that is secondary, so these particles, result from the degradations of the larger plastic items that break down over time due to the various environmental factors, right? So these include particles derived from the weathering and breakdown of the plastic items like packaging materials, bottles and other plastic products. Okay, so there is some finding in the study, that is organic waste. Okay, or you can say food waste grains. Okay, at landfill sites, that is decompose faster with the microbial activity under the predominantly anaerobic condition. Okay, and the producing liquids and gaseous emissions. Okay, so most plastic items are non biodegradable in natural, and in, you can say, remain intact in the landfills. So the main source of plastic in landfills, that is the disposal. Okay, that is the disposal disperse sanitary pads. Okay, or you can say carry bags, multi-layered packaging items. Okay, and there is a packaging sheets also, and contains bottles, polyvinyls chloride, that is PVC. Okay, footwear, disposal cups and plastic utensils. So all these are the source of plastics in landfills, right? So uh, next thing is biochemical reactions cause, you know 60 to 70 degrees Celsius fluctuations, right? And high salinity, low pH, and release gases like methane, carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, ammonia and hydrogen sulfide, right? So these are the reaction cause, and these gases released during the reaction. Okay, so and these are the dangerous, okay, sometimes. Okay, and These create environmental conducive to disintegration of plastic items into the smaller pieces, right? So some physical process like weathering of larger particles through the photo degradation, thermal degradation, and mechanical fragmentation and biodegradations, and yeah, which can form microplastic, right? So so uh, according to a study, a landfills research study conducted in Hyderabad revealed microplastic concentration range from 9 to 21 items per liter, predominantly shapes fiber 83%, fragmented 11%, and film 3%, and foam 2%. Okay, and एक second. Okay, and color yellow 35%, transparent 16%, purple 15%. Okay, so dominant polymers, low density polythene, polymer polypropylene, propylene, poly uh, polytetra phthalate, cellulose acetate, and nitrile. Okay, so a groundwater study conducted by Institute for Ocean Management found that the microplastic contamination in the range of 2 to 80 items per liter. So colored particles include oil 38%, black 27%, green 8%, etc. So predominantly polymers type nylon 70%, pellets 18%, foam 6%. Okay, and 90% of microplastics are derived from the buried plastic and waste fragmentation, mainly polypropylene and polystyrene. Okay, so what is the implications and recommendation of this? So uncontrolled plastic disposal in landfills is a primary source of plastic, right? You know source of plastic pollution, leading to the formation of pervasive microplastics, right? And comprehensive policy approach includes waste management policy, and efficient collection systems are crucial to limit plastic influx into landfills. Existing regulations such as solid waste management rules 2016 and recent bans on the single use plastics need a strict enforcement, right? And there is a scientific landfills designed advanced contaminant, okay, containment systems, and the remedification, or you can say remediation, of the open dump sites are essential to prevent leachate, right? And disseminations of microplastic. Investing in research in incentivizing innovations and promoting a circular economy approach can strengthen India's strategy to combat microplastic contamination from landfills, right? So whether wetland city accreditation, okay, weather city accreditation. So the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change recently substituted proposals for wetland city accreditations and the Ramsar Convention of the wetland for Indore, Bhopal and Udaipur, right? So wetland city accreditations was introduced by the Ramsar Conventions after 172 contracting parties unanimously agreed to prioritizing the conservations and wise utilization utilization of wetlands within their territory, right? So it was approved during COP12 held in 2015 as a voluntary accreditation schemes to recognize natural or human-made wetlands in urban and peri-urban environment. So this would showcase commitment to environmental sustainability and strengthen a positive relationship with these valuable ecosystem. The first three Indian cities nominations were submitted for WCA based on the proposals received from the respective state wetlands authority and municipal corporations. Okay, so the wetlands situated in and around these cities are crucial for flood regulation and livelihood opportunity and recreational and cultural values. So WCA will generate public awareness about conservation of wetland and help in the implementation of Amrit Dharohar across the country. So nominated Indian cities Indore founded by the Holkars. Okay. Indore, the cleanest city in the India and the recipient of India Smart City Award 2023 for its best sanitation, water and urban environment, important wetland and Sirpur Lake is a Ramsar site recognized for water bird congregations and is being developed as a bird sanctuary. A strong networks of more than 2,200 wetlands mitras is the okay bird strong networks of more than 200 wetlands mitra is engaging inward in conservation and sensitizing local community to protect the Saras crane. So Bhopal, that is one of the cleanest city in India that has proposed conservation zones around the wetlands in its draft city development plan 2031. Important wetlands, Bhoj wetlands of Ramsar site is the city's lifeline. So equipped with the world-class wetland international centers Tal Tarang and a lake conservation cells, more than 300 wetland mitras are engaged in wetland mangrove management and conservation of vulnerable Saras crane. So the lake city of Rajasthan is surrounded by 5 major wetlands that help right. So Udaipur lake of city of Rajasthan is surrounded by 5 major wetlands that help maintaining the microclimate, okay, provide buffer from extreme events and highlight a culture and identity. Important wetlands Picolage, Fateh Sagar, Rang Sagar, Swaroop Sagar and Dudh Talai, right? So these are the important.